Hello, everybody. I am Angry Bird. Welcome to a new Wargame cast. It's been a week or so since I did a Wargame cast. We were concentrating on the Steel Division 2 League Season 5 Division 1 Finals. So, yeah, I mean, when there's big tournaments, then either game, I'll concentrate on either game, but we're back with Wargame. Today we have a cast in the Hardened tournament, continuing it on. There's a link in the description to the challenge page, but spoilers, warning, if you go in there, then you'll see results for the tournament and possibly games, that I'm going to cast in the future. But it's there if you want to go into it and see how the tournament's progressing. Today we have Satyr, who I think I've covered before, and he's up against Genghiswolves. So let's have a look at the two decks. Satyr on the left hand side in blue, he's playing a Eurocore deck today, and my understanding for Eurocore, definitely looking at the units as well, is you don't really get a lot of units, so you're definitely, you do get quite a few powerful units. You definitely want to use micro and skill to your best advantage. This deck isn't really about spam. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Took me a while to say that, but yeah, that's the case. The dog's drinking heavily in the background. Oh, for Wargame fans that watch Wargame casts and might not see my Steel Division 2 cast, you might not be aware, but I've updated my audio equipment recently, so please drop down in the comments any feelings that you've got about audio, how the cast is. I will be improving it, like trying to fine tune it over the weeks, but yeah, that's happening. Feedback is appreciated. Hopefully you've had a good look at the deck. 54 infantry units, like I say, not a hell of a lot, but they are good units at that. There's also the Commander's Para in the Recon tab that helps out the AMX-10 RC as well. Very much loved Wargame unit. Over to the right hand side, we have Genghiswolves playing a Entente deck, if I'm correct. And kind of a bit opposite on the infantry side, at least. 94 units of infantry, so it's going to be all about overwhelming numbers on the side of Genghiswolf, trying to get the victory against the Eurocore today. Tanks, only 12 M84, so the Eurocore deck definitely has the advantage with the Leclercs and the Leopards that they get access to. The aircraft, I actually don't know this deck very well, and this is the first time I'm seeing this deck, the first time I've had access to this deck, so yeah, there are a lot of units that I'm going to be learning along the way. I know I keep saying that, but we're going to get there eventually. You won't have to listen to me say that in the future, I promise you. But, yeah, I can't really say too much about the aircraft, I'm afraid. I don't really know much about any of them at all. Oh, dear. What a start. What a start. Right, let's get into the game. Let's get underway and let's get the action going. So, quick recap. On the left-hand side in blue, we have Satyr. He's playing Eurocore. And on the right-hand side in red, we have Genghiswolves playing the Entente. Hopefully I've not made a major mistake there. So, Satyr going early with the command infantry there and the Fuchs transport. Marder 2 in the rear with more infantry. Couple of Leopard 2A4s combined there with some AMX-10 RCs leading the charge down the highway. And Genghis on the right hand side does also have a Pinsgau with command infantry in there. Early start from the L17K with infrared missiles there. Oh, you have to hover over it to get the info up. Dear me, dear me. Oh, dirty Wargame. Dirty Wargame. I promise I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say dirty SD2 caster. Yeah, I don't actually know. I'm interested in the Molniya infrared missiles, whether they are ATGMs or whether they are air-to-air missiles. I can't quite work that out at the moment. I have a feeling they're ATGMs. And the R13Ms are the infrared missiles. I'll have to take a look at more detail in the armory. Oof. Fab. VDA, I think there was doing the bulk of the damage against that helo. Early skirmish, but not a great loss on the side of Genghiswolves. I'm sure he accounted for the likelihood that he would lose that helicopter. Transport goes down, but the Cruz Cominci does manage to unload and get into the compound. It's up against some HEGM Milan F2s, which won't concern it. The VAB moving forward should go down to the RPG-75. The AMX 10RC would be the main concern, but we do have some ATGM infantry heading in there. Prus missed 2 shots against the VAB now. 3 shots missed. I don't know whether I actually got a hit on that. It finally goes down to the infantry in the rear with the Drug Salklos missile. The Pors Drug infantry. Probably awful translation, but you'll get used to me telling you how bad I am at translating unit names, or pronouncing, should I say, not translating, pronouncing unit names. But par for the course with my CAS. So no sort of cagey start, no kind of ultimate pushes right from the start with both players. The Milan F2s firing off against the OTM 60p. The game won't be a great loss for Genghiswolves, so just having Satyr expend those 6 Milan F2 missiles is probably quite a good thing for him, so he doesn't lose any of his main missiles. Yeah, Satyr does notice, though, orders in the resupply from the Man Catty. So both sides capturing Bravo and Foxtrot for this side spawns there. That was the reason for the command infantry from the start. Still getting up to speed on the differences here. Leopard 2A4s finally get into action, along with the AMX 10RCs, providing fire support onto the Moto Strelki, trying to push over the open ground. Men have gone down, but they made it into the forest. And the OT-62As that drop them off, not quite moving back. The Leopards will finish them off. So Genghiswolves has to find a way to defeat the superior armor on the side of Satyr. Or Satyr. Not sure exactly how you would say his name. So will that come from the skies? I imagine that's the most likely of routes for Genghiswolves to try and defeat those units. And those Motor Strelki have been spotted in the forest and are taking heavy damage. Actually, I think it's the mortar unit there. No, that's still providing smoke for the Leopard 2A4. Important to smoke that unit off. As I said, Genghiswolves likely to use his planes to try and get those kills, so Satyr keeping the smoke up to provide that cover for the 2A4s. Key Wargame tactic. Looks like a push from Genghiswolves up in Gulf. Milan's covering the approach though. Genghis drops off his infantry, make sure he doesn't lose any in the transports. And the Milan's really not doing the job today for Satyr. Looks like we've got an engagement down south as well. Vab pushing forward to see what's there, but is taken out. Yeah, by the BVP there. MX-10 has kind of taken the long route round. Don't know whether he has the fuel to make it all the way. Guess he does from the looks of it. But there is an OTM 60p on the way, so I don't know whether that unit was spotted by the H45 there. Recon Helo. If it was, I'm kind of surprised he didn't engage with the rockets onto that AMX-10. So I kind of hesitate to wonder if that AMX-10 was spotted, but I'm sure it would have been. I mean, perhaps Genghiswolves is just using the long route to send infantry round for a long northern flank. We will have to keep our eyes on that area. Action in the centre of Delta, though. French Foreign Legion push forward, similar to the Moto Strelki, but are caught on that push. Looks like Satyr has ordered in a Führungsgruppe for the capture of Charlie there. Takes the +1 lead. Will he be able to sustain that? Chasseurs engage in Motor Strelki. Forest combat here. I think it was the AMX 10RCs that helped out. Lab's taken down by the Rus-Kaminski. But the French Foreign Legion have their number. And the AMX 10s and the Leopards coming down to support this push. I'm a little bit worried for Genghiswolves here. I worry how he's going to defeat the fire support of Satyr, but at the moment, should I be worried? Because he's made a pretty nice push into Charlie up north. I hadn't noticed exactly the units that he's defeated. The command infantry definitely have retreated in the VAB T20. Leopard 2A1 on the way. There is some French Foreign Legion in here with a VAB VD-AA. Oh, I love the sound of those miniguns. I mean, they're not all miniguns in the minigun name of the sense, but I'll call them miniguns. Easiest way to describe the fast-firing cannons. It's like the French Foreign Legion just get decimated there as they come to the edge of the forest, and the Proletariat, along with the M84, do get the kills. Ooh, big loss with the AMX up north. Oh, the Chasseurs do get out. They're heavily stunned, and they are going to go down. Nice work from Genghiswolves up in the northern portion of the battlefield. He has lost some ground in Delta, but I feel the ground he's made up in Charlie and Golf, I think that is worth it. One of the Leopards has gone down, unless... Yeah, no, it's a 2A4. I was wondering whether it was this one here that had moved position. So he has destroyed one of the Leopards, has the M84AN, the unit that got the kill. We won't be able to check that out anymore as the ATGM Milan F2 comes in, and I think it was a side shot from that Milan ATGM missile. And an AMX 10RC has gone down as well, so I think the M84AN's definitely got the kill there. 15 armor and 19 AP power. So actually, yeah, they are as powerful with the cannon as the Leopard 2A4. Not quite as much armor though on that tank. And I think because that was a recon tank, perhaps I didn't see it in the tank tab. Derp. Obvious. Bit obvious there. Looks like Genghiswolves has some units kind of bunched up here on the highway that he's not really using. They have been spotted by the Commandos Para and are being shelled right now. But the BVP coming in, trying to hit that mortar unit. That will be a nice kill for Genghiswolves if he gets it. Satyr trying to get it out of line of sight. I think he's managed it. And he's a bit lucky to get away with that. You don't want to lose your mortar units. I mean, they're not over the top in terms of cost, 30 points, but they are a key asset that you don't want to lose. 2A1 has limited Genghiswolves' approach around into the north of Bravo and onto Alpha, but I think it would be a mistake for Genghiswolves to push out of Charlie. I think he just needs to secure it. He has got a command vehicle on the way to take up position. L-17K circling the battlefield overhead as well. Chasseurs move into the forest, and the weight of numbers here on the side of the Eurocorps, the Proletary, will go down. Supported by the VAB that goes down to the BVP. The Leopard 201 providing some key fire support in the rear. And the Chasseurs should be able to move back into this forest unopposed. Genghiswolves does need some more infantry up north. Looks like the AMX did go down. Super Galeb in the area. Yeah, now this has TV guidance missiles, so this definitely can get the kill. The Molnia is only an anti-air missile, so anti-helicopters and airplanes. So it is the Grom D that's going to do the job of taking out those leopards from the skies. No real additional movements down south, but the Führungs group from Charlie did reposition for Satyr into Delta. So he has managed to hold Genghiswolves to a +1 lead. And currently it's pretty even. Both players starting this matchup fairly tight. But personally, I think Genghiswolves is probably in the better position here, because he can get a command unit into Delta to kind of neutralize the capture. I mean, it would be pretty obvious where it would be, unless he kind of tried to sneak it into this tree line here, although it could be spotted by the commando's para. But yeah, I mean, he could attempt that, whereas at the moment, although things are about to change, I'm certain Satyr can't, you know, at the moment, right now, he can't really get the command vehicle in there. Or the command unit. Ooh, the Leopards do take care of the M489 there, and I think there was a BVP in the back. I'm not 100% sure on that unit. So Satyr definitely going to be able to push back into Charlie. The Panzer Grenadier have gone down to the Proletary, but they're cut off. So it really isn't required for Satyr to engage those units. He could just leave them alone. As long as he doesn't use that road, he'll be fine leaving those units where they are. Commandos Para obviously spot the Fuse Kaminski, and they are going to go down as well. So the big push into Charlie has been defeated now by Satyr. And yeah, I was concerned for the M1107 command unit, but Genghiswolves spotted the trouble it was going to be in. But the AMX-13s on the fast move down the road, will they still get this kill? There is a possibility this command unit is going to go down. The chase is on. The AMX-13 VTTs on the way. Genghiswolves stops for a moment at the edge of the forest. He's now trying to get away down the northern highway. Will the AMX-13s get the kill? Not quite. They've still got the opportunity here. In fact, both of Genghiswolves' command units on the move. They're just out of range, I think, of the M2 Browning now. And the Drug may make the save here. Takes out one of the MX-13 VTTs. Will it take out the second? Kind of surprised Genghis moved the other command unit there. I don't think he needed to move both. He could have left this one in. I guess he was worried about the MX swinging south, but I would have been surprised if he'd have got lost both of those command units. But both players managing to save command units here, which is pretty important. These are costly units. You know, 110 points is a very costly unit. And in terms of the game as a whole, you know, you need those command units to capture the points, so very important to keep them alive and not lose them willy-nilly. So, Genghiswolves was pushed back in the north in Charlie, but he has pushed back in Delta. And I imagine that's where the M1107 is going, into Delta, to neutralise the capture and give Genghiswolves the +1 once again. Chasseurs moving forwards up north. We have a silo. I think they're going to be infantry. Yeah, anti-air infantry. Some more M84As onto the battlefield for Genghis, coming into this position in Delta. Where are those? Where's the Marder 2A4? I think that one's gone down. I was thinking this push here into the centre. So we got sorry, I said Marder. I meant Leopard 2A4. We got a Leopard 2A1 up north. Got a Leopard 2A1 protecting Bravo. Oh no, here it is. It backed off. I think it backed off from its position in Delta. This is a close engagement here between both sides. Feelings Group as well is in a tough position. The Commandos Para have had to move back, and the Plus Community must not be far from getting sight of that Feelings Group. Pretty tight game so far from both players. Genghiswolves picks up the +1 once again with the capture of Delta, moving that command unit. And the units up north, I think some of them have gone down because there were definitely more chasseurs up there. There is a Leopard 2A1 though protecting the area. It's going to be tough for... I guess he has an M84AN up there as well. Notice Strelky slowly being taken down by the VAB T2013. I think Genghis needs to move his infantry. Not sure whether he's spotting that. The M84AN finally get involved. And I think another unit down south actually went down as well to the M84As. Oh, that Feelings Group is so close to going down. EVP coming in there with more infantry. Not exactly sure at this point where they're going. Looks like those OTM infantry units up north have actually run out of fuel. And they're going to have to get dropped off. Because that's it. They should be out of fuel now. Yeah, they're stopped position up north. He's going to have to drop those infantry off. They're going to have to hoof it on foot. I would think the best place to come down here into the northern area of Charlie. I don't think he's going to be able to get to Alpha. The Legion do push in the forest to contest against the Proletari. T55. Ooh, nice kill there on the ATGM infantry. I think the Legion, the Legion fired off the Eric's missile there. Trying to take down those T55s. Yeah, Genghis reacts, pulls them back away. Oh, but he does lose one to a side shot to that Eric's missile. The Proletari go in for the kill. T55 continuing to provide supporting fire. Marder 2 makes moves up north. I think that's coming down to swinging down to try and help out the Legion against the Proletari. And Mortify coming in there. But the Proletari have moved forward out of the range of that mortifier. Reinforcing French Foreign Legion have come into the centre of Delta. M84s are moving back. But the Feelings Group have repositioned, which is interesting. So I think Satyr's moved them back a little bit from the front of that forest. Finally, it looks like the recon infantry might go down now, though, and that should ensure those Führungsgruppe don't get spotted. So Genghiswolves still has the +1 here. He's starting to extend his lead. We've got 20 minutes left in the battle. And this could go either way at the moment. I think if Genghiswolves make a push into Charlie, he can definitely gain a foothold once again. And Satyr, at the moment, his forces in Delta aren't in full control. So I think Genghis has the upper hand. He has the lead. He has the +1 advantage. I think he'll be happy with his current situation. It's not to say, though, that Satyr is out of this by any means. I think if he can build a decent tank force, then he can definitely come back. He's got to be careful because the number of infantry that he has definitely don't outnumber Genghiswolves. But what was that? 2 minutes ago, I was saying Genghiswolves has a strong position in Delta. Completely turned around here. 17k coming in, but I'm sure they were all anti-air missiles. Clearly not. Unless that was an... Oh, was that a Tiger that went down? The plane gets lost anyway. I thought I looked and those Molyneux missiles were not ground attack missiles, so that must have been a helo that got taken down that I didn't quite have my eyes on. The Führungsgruppe almost get taken out. I wasn't quite watching, but I believe it was the Pram 5 firing its 120mm mortars, which is a worry for Satyr. They are moving ever so slightly, which means Genghiswolves is capturing the area, but once they stop, that will neutralize it once more. Oh, the pause drug. No, they have sighted the VBs. Sorry, the VABs. I thought for a moment it might have been the Leopards. But here's that push into Charlie from Genghiswolves. And the Leopard 2A1 is the big unit to defeat here. He has the M84AN leading the charge, and that's going to be the unit to do the job for Genghiswolves. Part 2 Tiger coming in to try and contest against that M84AN. I guess the BVPs actually can do the job as well with the Malyutka. Heat ATGM missile. So Satyr's had to retreat his Leopard 2A1 for now, and he's given up that position really effectively. Looks like the Proletari that got dropped off in the OTM 60p are on the way to Alpha. I don't really think they're gonna get there. I think the Fuchs and the AMX, that's quite an expensive unit to have. Well, it's not really an expensive unit, but it's a unit you could utilize much more effectively on the front line. The AMX 10RC, at least that's my opinion, to have as kind of defending your flank. So the Part 2 Tiger is under fire from the Proletari, so he's going to be a little bit careful about that. Will fire off its Schneb 2 rockets. No. Stunned. If that Tiger goes down, a transaxial hit. Don't actually know what that means, you know. I'm assuming maybe that's like this bit on the tail here. Mando's para go down. Leopard 2A1 caught in the forest. Close range with the Proletari. Will they get the RPG? No, it's the M72 Law. They've had a number of shots. And finally, the Leopard goes down. That gives Genghiswolves full control of Charlie, and you've got to expect the command vehicle to go in there. Oh, the Pinzgauer with the command infantry is waiting in the wings. The only thing that would really save Satyr right now is if those chasseurs caught the command infantry on the way in. N62M Super Galeb. coming in here. Is this going to swing down? Yeah, I was going to say I didn't think there was anything up in Charlie for it to take down. I think it's the 2A4s that he's concentrating on in the center of Delta. It's very interesting that Echo has really not had sustained fights over it at all. We've got Satyr sitting back here with the P4 PC that isn't really capturing Echo. And I think he's missing a trick there to at least not have it in, you know, a tree line on the very edge. So the Pinsgauer is going to avoid the chasseurs. And the Super Galeb is evac bingo. Part 2 Tigers going back to refill its Sneb rockets and get some repairs, I would expect. We've got a Caesar back in base. The pretty nice French artillery. Go to Strokey, trying to push over the open ground. There is some smoke here, to be fair, but not quite in the right place. And the 84 AN's going to engage the Leopard 2A4s. Big fight here. Quite a few tanks on both sides. And it looks like the 84s are going to come off the victor. Satyr having to retreat with his tail between his legs, losing both Leopard 2A4s. Big kills from Genghiswolves. And here I was worried about the tank engagements for Genghiswolves, but definitely showing the power of the M84A. A tank that I don't know too much about there. Let's get... Oh, we don't quite get the close-up that I desired. There is the end of the game. Genghiswolves gets the victory. 2,155 kills to 1,290 losses. Congratulations to Genghiswolves. Commiserations to Satyr. I think on balance, Genghiswolves, well, he definitely deserved the victory. But I think that was for me, that felt a lot closer than perhaps what the kills versus losses describes. I think Satyr's units were more costly than Genghiswolves, so he had to be careful with his units, and clearly not careful enough in this case. I definitely think that was a much closer game than kind of a 28-minute, you know, 2-to-1 kill to loss ratio game that we're seeing at the end score, the end scoring list. I guess we didn't build to a big crescendo, but yeah, Genghiswolves definitely deserved the victory. I do feel a bit bad for Satyr because I think he was in a reasonable position. I feel like he should have got more from that game than he did. But Genghiswolves was definitely very hot on the attacks up north into Charlie, and I think that's really where he won the game. The advances into Charlie, because he did get pushed out of Delta a couple of times, but every time he secured Charlie, he then refocused on Delta and was able to push back to get the foothold into Delta, or to hold the foothold into the eastern corner of Delta and hold a command vehicle or command infantry in that position. And I think for Satyr, losing Charlie was a big blow for him. And not doing more in Echo, perhaps. He had that command vehicle right outside of Echo. I'm not sure why it didn't get moved in there. I guess he must have only just ordered it, and that was the position he ordered it to. And he hadn't quite realised that he'd arrived into position, and he needed to move it into the Echo capture area. The dog's whinging. He wants me to finish the cast. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the return to a Wargame cast. Perhaps not like an over-exciting cast, but I actually really enjoyed the gameplay there between both players. Yeah, I actually did enjoy that cast. I did enjoy watching Genghiswolves attacks into Charlie and the kind of interplay in the tank engagements. And although Satyr lost, I feel like it wasn't as heavy a loss as it looks on paper, shall we say. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, leave your comments down below. Leave any thoughts about the game and also the audio. I'd appreciate any feedback on that. and check out a future Wargame cast. Also, if you want to look at Steel Division 2, then we've had a recent final series, Gonzo versus Quadryu. That's the Division 1, the highest division in the Steel Division 2 league. They are the top 1v1 players. I definitely recommend that series. It's on my YouTube channel at the moment. So just head into the videos and have a look at that playlist. It was a best of 5, all 5 games are cast, and all 5 of them are fantastic. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.